Okay, can you hear me good?
Yes.
All right. Okay, now we should be ready. Okay, this is an interview. Oh, hi everyone. This is an interview with Stacey Barlow, and she'll be doing the show Limitless on our TV network. And it's just, this is the, believe it or not, is the second interview we're doing. I just want you to know that. The first interview kind of sort of got messed up, so she was gracious enough to do the interview over again with us. Okay? So, I want to introduce her yet again for the second time. I'm so sorry, Stacy. For the second time, Stacey Barlow of the show Limitless. So, Stacy, let me get right into it. Let me
Okay.
not hold nothing back. How again did you get into quantum jumping? Because I'm so sorry. I know I asked you this question like twice already. Okay, but how did you get again? How did you get into quantum jumping?
I got into quantum jumping actually through an email, and the email sounded interesting, and I'm a curious type of person, so I read through the email and I said, that sounds interesting, and I decided to do the steps to take. It was a journey to get to quantum jumping, and it's just basically uh, positive thinking. Getting from one step to another if you want to get somewhere in life.
Mm-hmm.
And those emails, they just kept coming. And for a while, I said to myself, I don't think I want to try this. But then they kept coming, and it just really piqued my curiosity. So I said, let me try this and see what happens. And good things started to happen.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And so now you've actually done it yourself. Is that
I've done it.
you've done
I've
it?
done it.
Tell us about
I've
it.
tried that before I ever told anybody to even try it to see if it works for them.
Uh huh.
And it's an amazing journey. I mean, for some people it may be different,
Yeah.
but for me it was like a heightened experience. It was like a matrix type of thing, and I was like, "Whoa, this has to be a dream." So I had to step back and turn around and see if I was doing it right. So
Yeah.
it was just a wonderful experience.
Wow. And out of it, when you did it, right? Were you afraid?
No, I wasn't afraid. It was more on the lines of, like I said, curiosity,
Uh huh.
and that was the fun part.
Oh, being curious about it. Being curious
Yeah.
about it. And what did you, when you did it, right? Because me, myself, I'm into astral projection. I know a lot of people know
Right.
that about me already. But I found when I did it that I felt like out of sorts, like the very first time I felt scared and kind of a little bit
Right.
mixed up. How did you feel?
Well, if I understand astral projection correctly, that's more like an out of body experience,
Yeah,
whereas
yeah,
quantum jumping, you have control of where you're headed. Whereas uh, in more cases with astral projection, you're in flight,
uh huh,
and with quantum jumping, you're just taking a walk and opening a door to the other side, to your positive self, to a future self. So I had no reason to be scared.
uh huh. Oh, okay, okay. And I remember we talked about before about how you can go bump into yourself and you can ultimately give you like not instruction or I wouldn't exactly say like that, but kind of sort of like guide you about things to you know
Right.
guide you about things that maybe you should know for the kind of sort of for that moment or going a little into the future. We were talking about that.
Right.
Yeah, tell me
Um,
about that.
it's once you take that journey and that step, and you get it's a basically a countdown, sort of like hypnosis.
Uh-huh.
And once you get to seeing your positive self, you're able to ask as many questions as you possibly can within maybe 2 minutes time.
Uh-huh.
And once you do that, you can take what you've learned from yourself back to the present and apply it to what you're trying to do. And before you leave, you are merging with your future self in order to feel what it's like to be in your own shoes in the future time.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of sort of like giving yourself instruction, more or less. Like a little bit of guided instruction, but not really
Right.
giving all the details. Most of it you find out once you come back into this time period that you're in, right?
Right, because I feel like if you get too much information, you will alter the universe, and I can't.
Oh, I see you
There,
now.
right.
Okay.
I missed the point.
Oh, okay. What I was
Okay.
saying was that so far as the guest, the show Limitless that you're going to do, which by the way I think is a wonderful idea of what you told me about the reason why you chose that name and what the show is all about. Okay, but so far as your guest, I would like the audience to know what type of guests will you be having, like um, what is it that you're trying to pull out of people in order to teach the
Well,
audience more?
for those that are trying to get to a certain point,
Uh-huh.
I want to use people that have already made it
Uh-huh.
and give tips on what they did to achieve that goal. I plan on starting with friends of mine. If I can get them in, like poets and writers and more people like that, hopefully more coaches who are willing to do the interviews.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and because the show Limitless, my mentor asked me or told me, I want you to write a future bio. And that's where Limitless came up. As I continued to write, I said, this is what I want to do.
Right.
I want to have a TV show and a radio show and both named Limitless. And all of a sudden, I dropped everything and I took that time and I jumped. I decided, let me go jump and see what my future self has to say about this. So I
Wow.
spent 2 minutes
Yeah.
with my future self. I came back and started writing again. And it just so happened you came along. And I was like, no, really? So and I think a couple of days after that, I went back to my future self and I actually thanked my future self for guiding me and giving me that direction. And I'm
Wow.
still doing that because I think she has, or I have more to say.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So
okay. Wow. Okay. Now
it's
I'm. Go ahead.
it's actually
Okay. So, Stacy, I want to ask you, right, about the different subjects and stuff that you want to cover. You know what you're going to talk to your guests about. Tell us what kind of subjects and stuff we can expect.
um the kind of subjects you can expect are ways to get to where you are
Mm-hmm.
from ways to get to where you're going from where you are, and tips on the best way to doing it, and more importantly, not world issues, but things that will probably be important to people other than just uh, financial issues, or more importantly, medical, because that's also limitless. You have people um, that go through a lot of things every day, struggling to get to a point to saving money or getting medical insurance or dental insurance or having things for their children. So it's very difficult to get all that information in one set. So I want to be able to try to get more information out there that somebody may have missed.
Mhm. Oh, okay. That sounds really, really good. And also, I noticed about you too. You write
Hmm.
poetry, right?
Yeah, I do.
Tell us about the type of poetry and the reason why you got into writing it.
Oh my goodness, I've been writing poetry for. See, I'll be telling my age, but
No,
I've been writing
well,
poetry
we
for
won't ask you your
over
age.
30,
We
over
won't
30
ask you that.
something years, and
Mhm.
it was a way to express myself because I never really was a talker, and I've always wanted to just be that type of growing up. I've always wanted to be close to my mother and talk to her the way young girls would talk to their mothers.
Mhm.
And so she was a disciplinarian, and I love her for that because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be, as strong as I am today. And so I wrote in a quiet sense,
Right.
and done that for years. And my sister got whiff of that piece, one of the pieces, and she said, "You ought to do something with your poetry." And with that encouragement, I did, and it's been history ever since.
Wow. That is lovely. That is really lovely. So, do you have any books out or anything like that?
I'm sorry for grinning so hard, but
That's okay.
yes, I do. I
I know the
have.
feeling. Believe you me. I write too, so I know the feeling. Go ahead.
Good. Good. I have two books out.
Mhm.
Working. Oh gosh, let me see. I have two books out, four manuscripts that are finished, and one I'm actually working on, which happened to be a God-given title. So I said I have to do this
Mhm.
because of him, and because I have to put him in it. My 8-year-old nephew was like, "Titi, why you put all those words in your book?" I'm like, "Well, I'm just expressing myself." I mean, it's like church folks don't do that. Like they've never done that before,
Really?
or have heard those words before. So I was just expressing myself, but not necessarily, I wouldn't perform those pieces. Those were just written. There's a difference between spoken word and literary words.
Mhm.
So I said, okay, I'm going to do better. So the next book that I'll do it where it won't be those type of words in it. Because I
Oh.
want to be a good example for my niece and my nephew. So that's the reason for that.
Oh, I
And
understand that.
my books are on Amazon. One is, I can't even think of my own books. That's a shame. Cold hearted, warm hearted. That's the first book. And
Okay.
Rejuvenation, innocent until proven guilty.
I have to find you on there because I do book reviews and stuff. Reading
Okay.
it. Yeah, yeah. So I have to add you to our book club and do some reviews. I haven't started yet on the YouTube, but I will do physical reviews. In terms of
Okay.
showing the book and then talking about it. And the reasons why people should purchase the book. So, with that being said, what are you looking forward to from here? I mean, I know that you're a writer and now you're TV show host and you'll be hosting a radio show. Thank goodness,
Okay.
because people could use good, good,
I'm so
yeah, they could
ready
use
for
some
that.
good information. A good person giving good information. But where do you see yourself going from here? What is it you would like to see happen in your life?
Oh gosh.
You could
Um,
start off with business wise.
because I was getting ready to go there.
Hmm.
Um,
You could
um,
start off with business wise.
okay. Business wise, I want to continue writing,
Mm-hmm.
travel, stage at the New York Cafe. That is my
Wow.
dream. That is my dream. If I can make it there, oh my goodness, I'm done for.
Wow. That talk about moving forward. Talk about moving
Yes.
forward. Okay, and what do you want personally?
Personally,
Tell the truth, girl. You don't have to tell everything. Not everything, but
I
give
have
us a
this
little.
desire,
Go ahead.
desire one day to be married. That's a long life dream of mine. I have to
Okay.
find the right one first.
Okay. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Okay. So,
Right.
what are your days like now, so far as business is concerned? I mean, what projects are you on now, aside from doing that? Because I know you're getting ready to do the live shows. They'll start after this. But
Right.
aside from the poetry, aside from the hosting the shows and stuff like that, are there any other projects that you're working on with other people?
With other people,
Yeah.
no, but
Okay.
I'm hoping that when the word gets out that they'll want to work with me.
Uh huh.
Um, I have this dream of working with my favorite entertainer, Miss Janet Jackson,
Oh,
and maybe
you were
just
telling
even
me
have
about
lunch
that.
with her or something and throw ideas at her and see if she likes them.
Mm-hmm. You got a big, big. Well, you call the show limitless. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. You go, Stacey. If anything, if you're gonna shoot for the biggest, you might as
I
well the
am.
brightest, right? You might as well the
I'm
brightest.
telling you.
For
Yes.
people that want to follow in your footsteps, what would you tell them?
For people that want to